She's not what you'd expect. She's tough and feisty, but gentle and tender. She makes millions and gives millions to the poor. She cries, she laughs, she teaches, she comforts. This is the Dani Johnson Show.
Hi, and welcome to the Dani Johnson Show. All of us here are so very blessed that you chose to join us. Today, get ready, because I believe that you are going to be encouraged. You might find some good answers for the success track that you're on. Here on the Dani Johnson Show, every single day, we are bringing you content that causes you to think about how to change your life and take action on it. You're about to meet somebody that is going to inspire you. Shade Gumapac is a young man who found himself working 70 hours a week for not enough pay for 70 hours a week by far. He found himself kind of in that place, addicted to money, spending it all over the place, and really with no hope or future for his finances. He heard about the same website that perhaps you have, DaniJohnson.com. He took advantage of what Destiny Global has available in form of training and materials, books, audios, training seminars like First Steps to Success. And you're going to hear the exact steps that he took to improve his life. Shade, welcome to the Dani Johnson Show.
Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to, get to talk to you. And thank you for allowing me to be in your show.
Oh, it's an honor to have you here. So tell us, what was going on in your life? What was the work that you were doing that was having you pull those hours of 70 hours a week?
Well, Dani, I just wanted to share something very important with you. Prior to hearing about your name, I was very, very horrible. I had a bad relationship with my family. I hated my family. Mm-hmm. I do remember back in 2007 when my brother was getting married and I was his best man, and I didn't even show up to his wedding. And that's how horrible I was. And then when I heard your name on TV on 2008, that's when I went to your website and I got I got 2 of your audios, and I've been listening to you. And because of you, Dani, I got back with my brother. After 2 years not talking to my brother, I went to talk to him in 2009, and, our relationship right now is so great. Wow. And if it wasn't for you, I probably would not be with my brother anymore. That's how horrible I was. And then during those times, before knowing you, before I got hold of your training CDs, I was putting myself into 4 jobs just to get myself busy, just to be away from people. I was trying to run away from families and friends, and listening to you just got me closer to becoming better with my relationship with them.
Wow.
And since 2008, I've been listening to you, and for 6 years, and then finally realized that, because I was using the same audios over and over and over, so I went back to your website, and I went to check out if there's more tools that I can utilize, and that's when I learned about the event. Mm-hmm. And so I registered for the event in Austin, Texas, and ever since then, my life changed. I mean, during that whole 6 years, I was still, working a lot of hours, trying to chase the money, and but money was never enough.
Yeah.
And I was chasing. I had no idea what I was chasing, and I was running from a lot of things. And I felt like, I'm a single guy, no family, and I just felt like I just have to put myself into a lot of work. And I was very stressed out, and I felt like I wasn't going anywhere in life.
Yeah.
And so when I went to your First Steps to Success, that's when I realized a whole lot of things about my life and about myself. Mm-hmm. And that I was addicted to a lot of things. I was addicted to spending my money, and I wasn't paying my debt. I have a heavy student loan debt. I was trying to pursue a degree because everyone else that I know have degrees, and I felt like I want to be like that because I felt like that's what success was about.
Yeah.
And I was chasing making $4,000 because I wanted to feel successful, and that's how what I was told success was. And I started buying things. I started having expensive stuff and giving people money. Like buying stuff, taking them to restaurants and feeding them because I wanted to show people that I was successful. And that's what I knew what success was. But I had no idea that I was destroying my future. It wasn't until I met you in person when you told me that you had to work hard today, but then you gotta save the money that future. And since I've been training with you, my activities and my spending habits totally has changed, and how I spent my time and my money is totally changed now. Like I'm loving it. Like I'm loving creating a whole lot of things, and I feel like I'm not chasing from something I don't know. Like I know what I'm aiming for now. Like my vision for the future is so clear. And
that's exciting.
I'm not running from anything anymore.
Yes.
And I used to care about fame, people knowing me and everything, and I don't care about that anymore because to me it's just creating success and inspiring other people and helping them is what matters. It's not about me anymore, and that's
amazing. Shane, I have a question for you. Like right away in the very beginning, when you were talking about you and your brother and your family, like how you were working 70 hours a week just to stay away from your family. What happened in the family in your childhood that caused you to want to abandon your family? I mean, your brother obviously, and by the way, I was very similar to you. And I love how transparent you are. Like, that's the kind of guy I was. I stood my brother up on his wedding day and I was the best man. Like, I love how transparent you are. I wish the world was filled with people like you. Anyway, but what was it that caused you to be so embittered towards your family?
Well, I came from the Philippines. I came from a family that's divorced, and and my brothers. There's 4 of us. I'm the youngest one in the 4, and my brother got my father in the United States without telling me and without telling my sister. So it's kind of like it was just them. So it was kind of like my father got into America without me. Being involved without me knowing, so it kind of hurt my feelings, and just took it to a different level. I care so much about family, but I felt like it doesn't really matter for everyone else. So I hated that, and I hated. I don't know. I mean, I don't think it was a big deal, but.
Yeah, looking back, it's not that big of a deal. But, then it was a deep hurt. It was a deep wound that your brother left you out of that kind of information. I mean, that's an important thing, bringing your father to the United States. That's a really big thing. And for whatever it was that his reasons were, is what he did, keeping it from the family. But how interesting how that hurt. And looking back, you're like, that really wasn't that big of a deal. You made it much bigger than what it needed to be, and obviously that caused a wedge between you and your family, which obviously today you have restored that. But what do you say to somebody even right now who is harboring a grudge and harboring bitterness and resentment against a family member? What do you say to that person, especially like a brother to brother situation? You know what I mean? What do you say to that person right now? I mean, he might be driving his car, listening to you right now, or watching this on television. What do you say to that young man who has bitterness in his heart towards another family member?
For one thing, you can't really expect other people to be perfect. People are always going to be having their own actions, and they're going to have their own reasons. You can't expect so much. And if you feel like somebody have hurt you, Yeah, I know that kind of pain. It hurts, and sometimes we justify ourselves that they're so horrible, but you just have to let it go. Yeah. You just have to let it go, because when you hold on to that grudge, and when you stop talking to them, it's not going to benefit. It wasn't benefiting me, and it wasn't benefiting them, and it was just creating a gap into the relationship, and it's just not worth it. I lost 2 years, and
two important years.
So
that was 2 important years. I mean, you were supposed to be in that wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah, and will forever not be in those pictures.
Yeah.
That's the reality. But isn't it interesting that that's how we can be? We can make choices to stay mad and upset and embittered towards things that are insignificant in the grand scope of things. And what we do is we have a tendency of creating more problems and more hurts and more pain, not just for the other person, but more for ourselves. You were hurting over this entire situation far more, and creating more hurt for yourself and more pain and more struggle for yourself than what was necessary. And what finally brought you to the place where you would go back and say, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I was wrong?
When I was listening to you, you told me just, to let it go.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. I was just coachable, and I did that, and I went to my brother's house, and he opened the door, and he was surprised to see me, and I just cried. I asked for his forgiveness, and my brother forgiven me, and also his wife, and I hugged both of them.
Wow.
But if I hadn't done that, man, I don't know what my life would be right now.
Yeah. Yeah, certainly wouldn't be as rich as it is, because there's nothing like a relationship between brothers. And there are so many estranged relationships between brothers and sisters, and brothers and sisters and parents. There's so many of them. And it's sad. I mean, it creates more stress. It creates more struggle, more pain. In all reality, there's nothing like having family coming together. And really what it is to do what you did. You humbled yourself. You took responsibility. You asked for forgiveness. You went to them. And they could have rejected the whole thing. But look what an incredible miracle to have that family come together and say, I forgive you. And now you guys have an incredible relationship. This is Dani Johnson. We'll continue with more with Shade Gumapac right after this.
When we come back, Shade had another reconciliation in his life, one that will pay dividends for a long time. This is the Dani Johnson Show.
Do you dream about feeling more confident, more beautiful, more powerful, but instead, you're that girl that never learned to do their makeup, and now you feel lost in a sea of YouTube makeup tutorials? Or you're that new mom that can't get enough sleep at night and just wants to feel pretty again? Or the busy professional that wants to magnetize brand new clients and get more respect in the office? From the boardroom to the bedroom, xmhbeauty.com will help you. Our company has a proven track record of making beauty available on any budget, from celebrities to girls just like you and me. Our live classes, step-by-step tutorials, and insider secrets will have you standing out from the crowd. Go to xmhbeauty.com/Dani today to get your free gift from us. That's xmhbeauty.com/DANI.
The whole story of how I went from homeless to millions is right here in this book, First Steps to Wealth. I'd love to give you a free copy of this book. Just dial 888-757-8880. You can get your free copy of this book. It's like a real book, my friend. You can get an ebook copy for free right now, or if you'd like to pay the shipping to get this $15 book to your house, I'd be happy to send it to you. 888-757-8880. Get your copy of First Steps to Wealth today and begin on a brand new path of some great success. Imagine living in a decrepit, unsafe hovel made of waste material on top of old mining tunnels that could explode and sink your home at any moment. Imagine no water to drink, no safe place to raise your children, no food for your starving baby. Imagine that your kids can't learn to read because they have to work to support the family instead of going to school. Could you imagine living in that kind of fear and hopelessness? This is exactly what families are dealing with in the poverty-stricken village of Santa Pancha, Nicaragua. These families can barely meet their basic food, water, and housing needs. We are transforming that village. Be a part of this miracle. I want you to go to the website now and learn how you can help. Go to kingsransom.org and click on Santa Pancha. There you can join with other warriors against poverty and help bring a miraculous transformation to Santa Pancha. That's kingsransom.org, kingsransom.org. And I'm so blessed that I found what is in Grooming the Next Generation for Success. This is a book that is being taught in universities around the world. It's been noted as the best book on parenting that has ever been written. Crazy, if you ask me. But the point is that this thing gets results. Get your copy today, 888-757-8880. Again, that's 888-757-8880. Or go to DaniJohnson.com. That's DANI Johnson.com. Get your copy today.
Change your habits, change your future. This is the Dani Johnson Show.
Is there somebody right now in your life that you have chosen to hold a grudge against? If there is, I'm going to challenge you right now. Listen, you watch the Dani Johnson Show because you want to have success in every area of your life. You're here listening to content that is challenging you every day. And I know that you're taking action, just like Shade took action after listening simply to a simple audio. He took action and brought a change in his whole family's life. You know, there's a whole new destiny and a history being made now because of the choice that he made with taking action. So if you find yourself like Shade, where you have been embittered and you're resentful towards a family member, do what he did. Come on, bootstrap it, baby. Holding on to this thing is only hurting you. It's just adding more weight, more stress, more anxiety, more worry, more anger, more hatred, more fits of rage that are coming out of you. I know that you're probably even in a place where you are flying off the handle over the littlest things. And it could be this one person that you just need to forgive. Just release it. Release them. They owe you nothing. Come on, you and I are not perfect. We've probably done the same exact thing that this individual did to you. You cannot expect people to be Jesus the Messiah. Are you listening to me? There's only one perfect one that walked the earth, and they still killed him. So if you're not Jesus, why would you expect someone else to be? Hello? You understand what I'm saying? So you really got to make the choice to get the courage like he did. Humble yourself, which is true strength, by the way. True meekness and humility is real strength. That's real control of oneself. So rise up, step up, do what he's done. Shade is joining me again. We're going to have the conversation of not only has he restored his family relationships, but also he's had a restoration with his finances. Shade, you came out of First Steps to Success January 2015, and in a very short period of time, you've paid off some debt. How much debt have you paid off?
Over $27,000.
That is exciting. Now, you said that you were like a spendaholic. You were like addicted to spending. What did that look like? Because someone is on their way to the mall right now. You don't even have to go to the mall anymore, man. You could just click add to cart.
Yeah.
So what did your spending, like, what were you addicted to buying? What were you spending a bunch of money on?
I was spending my money on friends and family, taking them out, showcasing that,
I did the same thing. Buying everyone expensive dinners, buying everyone expensive gifts. See, look how successful I am. And all that really did was put a lot of pressure on other people. They're like, how in the world could we ever repay you? You know what I mean? That's what happened with my friends and family. Like, I could never repay you. You just bought me a 7-day cruise. I could never repay you for that. It put so much pressure on them when my birthday came around or when different holidays came around where gifts were supposed to be given. It was a crazy amount of pressure. Anyway, so $27,000 worth of debt. How does that feel? Like, what was it like the first time putting more money towards debt? Did you feel good? Did you feel like you were, was it hard? Was it easy?
Well, it feels good knowing the fact that I made that happen. But before, I didn't really care so much about paying it off. Like I was like, even sometimes I'd be like late or I'd be like skipping it. Like to me, I don't have enough because I've already like spent it on a lot of things. Like buying luxury stuff and everything, and just to look cool and to look important, to look successful.
Wow. So you looked good, you looked important, you were spending on a bunch of other people, so they thought you were cool and important, but you were not paying your bills.
Yeah.
Isn't that how we do it? That is so pathetic. It's so crazy that we could be fooling people, and yet, like, bill collectors are calling, we ain't answering the phone. We ain't sending the bill. We don't care if we pay the bill. So you obviously came to a place where now all of a sudden you cared.
Yeah.
And then you started to attack that debt. How does it feel to be 27,000 pounds lighter of debt?
It feels great. It feels awesome.
How much more do you have to go?
Like about 40 something more.
Okay, I want to know the exact amount, so I need the exact amount, and I want a date of when you're writing the last check. And I want you to attack it even more aggressively than you've already done, because there's no feeling like being completely 100% debt-free, owing nobody nothing. You want to talk about being empowered? Wow. Freedom? Wow. The strength, the honor? Dang. It's like war, man. That's why we call it war on debt. It is like serious war. So proud of you, Shade. Thanks so much for joining us today. This is Dani Johnson. We're going to continue back in just one moment with another inspiring story that's going to cause you to take action.
It's time to take on a whole new mindset. Stay right here for more of The Dani Johnson Show.
This is your chance. This is your shot. Get your copy of War on Debt right now. There's one waiting for you that has your family's name on it. And inside that package is freedom. Your family's freedom is on the inside of that package. All you have to do is open it up, press play, and start applying what I teach you in this program. 888-757-8880. You and I are going to help your family become completely debt-free in the next 5 to 7 years. Just imagine how that's going to feel.
Prior to getting started with DaniJohnson.com and First Steps to Success, we were spending absolutely every dime that we made. We were really struggling financially. Since plugging in to First Steps to Success just 4 months ago, we started a brand new business that is doing very, very well. We've paid off $4,500 in debt, but the most important thing is my relationship with my husband has improved like dramatically. I mean, we have so much more fun together. You know, I don't know about you, maybe your finances, you're doing great. Maybe you're debt-free. Maybe your relationships with your spouse, with your family are great. But if not, if you have some areas in your life that feel a little out of control or there's things that you need to work on, I highly recommend getting to First Steps to Success as soon as you can.
Prior to being dragged out to First Steps to Success, I was hopeless. I had no point to life. It was a day-to-day existence, working a job I despised for people I didn't respect. Deeper and deeper debt every year. You just couldn't get on top of it. I just had no hopes or dreams, none at all, and there was no point to life. But since coming out, we paid off $280,000 worth of debt, married the woman of my dreams. I came to love my job and the people I work for. I have all kinds of hopes and dreams. I get to watch them happen every day. I don't know what your life is like, you know. There's probably tons of hope. You probably know why you live and you got places you're going, but if you don't, you need to sign up for First Steps to Success. You go to DaniJohnson.com and you click on it and be here, because your life will not be the same if you do.
Prior to First Steps to Success, I was drowning in debt. I was terrified of my bills, and I wanted to travel, but I never had the money. And since coming to First Steps to Success, in the last 14 months, I've paid off over $18,000 in debt. I've gone on 6 vacations, and I'm not terrified of my bills anymore. So if you want to learn some proven strategies to really learn how to connect with people, take your life to the next level, all while having a total blast, you need to get registered for the next First Steps to Success today.
Prior to coming to First Step to Success, we were totally struggling, totally under the weight of $640,000 worth of debt, making $20,000 a month, but living paycheck to paycheck. So when we came here, and I realized that it takes a totally different skill set to keep money, to create wealth than it is to make money, I have totally turned around our lifestyle. We have paid off $640,000 worth of debt in 2 years. We are debt-free as of June of 2013. I don't know where you're at. You might have all your finances in order. You might have a wonderful life. Your marriage might be all perfect and your kids are behaving. But if not, if one of those things is lacking, you gotta get here. Book your next event. You need to be here. You will not regret it.
If you knew you couldn't fail, what would you do with your life? Discover your own answer. This is the Dani Johnson Show.
Welcome. Listen, you right now, I hope you are sitting down somewhere. Well, you're probably driving your car, or maybe you're on a treadmill or sitting in front of the television. Either way, stop everything you're doing because you have to hear this. This is going to shock you. Shock you. You have the potential, after hearing what you're about to hear, to go from boredom to incredible exhilaration, to go from status quo, life as usual, plugging away, being in a rut with all of the frustration that goes along with it, to being on that mountaintop and shocking everybody around you. I cannot wait for you to meet Laura. She's from Pennsylvania. Her and her husband have an incredible, outrageous story, and I'm so excited for you to first of all, for you to lay your eyes on her if you're watching this on television or YouTube. And if not, you're listening on the radio or the app, the DaniJohnson.com app. This is just, her voice is gorgeous. Her accent is beautiful. Laura, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Dani.
You really are. I mean, you look like a supermodel, by the way. I mean, you're absolutely gorgeous. I remember the very first time I got to lay eyes on you at a First Steps to Success, you and your amazingly gorgeous children. Wow. I mean, you and your husband needed to have like a dozen of these because the specimens that you two produced are amazing. All right. So tell us where you were prior to, what was going on in your life prior to coming to First Steps to Success?
Yes. So prior to me coming to First Step to Success, that was January of this year, I was in a rut, personally, spiritually. I was a frustrated mom, homeschooling mom. I homeschooled my 3 kids. Marriage was totally not exciting. A lot of times I felt like I was a single mom because my husband was hardly home. And we weren't even thinking about paying our debt. We were just kind of chasing our tail. And spiritually, I was just I had a cloud over my head and I was frustrated. And my husband and I, we didn't have a good communication skills and we just couldn't deal with each other. We were very frustrated with each other. So that's where I was prior to me.
So this is 9 months ago. Okay, so 9 months ago, you guys had a boring marriage. You felt like a single mom. You were under all the pressures of homeschooling your 3 kids. You have a ton of debt, but you're not even thinking about the debt. Like, it was like, psh, whatever, I've got other fish to fry, basically. So how did you hear about the website, DaniJohnson.com?
I have a small home-based business, and someone from one of my Facebook friends just said, hey, do you want to check out this? We're going to a training in Orlando. And at that time, I was so frustrated and desperate for anything. Mm-hmm. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to go if it's going to help me with anything. And actually, I just had the only intention of just going just to see if I can get some business tips. That was my intention. And I was shocked when I got there.
Okay, and so you went to the very first event in January in Orlando all by yourself.
All by myself. And my husband was like, yep, go. And he was just thinking, yeah, sure, go ahead and, get some tips to help you with your business. And when I got there, I had no idea. And normally, Dani, I will go online to check out who this Dani person is. I did not check out anything. I did not even know anything about you, nothing. I just went, which was great. I went just to learn. And the first 3 hours there, I was just bawling because it was just like you were talking to me it was just like my walls was just coming down, that all the issues that I was dealing with, I grew up very poor and just not a very secure person. And so I had a lot of issues that I was just carrying with me. And all that was just kind of falling off. And I was just hearing the truth that I needed to hear. And then on top of that, the next day we learned about the jams. And I hated myself when I came to Orlando. I really did not like who I was and who I was becoming as a parent, as a mom. And the very people that I didn't want to be like, I was literally becoming them. And so when I came to Orlando, it was like right in my face. And it was like God was just releasing me to be who he created me to be, that it was okay to be yourself, and it was okay. And the way you see yourself, I learned the way I see myself was the way I was treating others. I hated myself. So I was full of hatred and just bitterness towards everybody. I had no people skills. I had no wonder nobody wanted to be around me. I was a cranky person, and I was just full of just bitterness because of all the things that I had gone through in my life. And I just couldn't figure it out, how to get out of it. I wanted help. I was desperate for help. And so coming to Orlando I learned about myself for the first time. I felt like I was 40 years old last year, and I felt like God finally, I just got released from the wilderness.
Yes.
For 40 years. And I learned about myself. I learned that, I'm a person who I'm very competitive, and also I'm a sapphire who loves to have fun, and at the same time I just really love to be out there and get things done, and people hated that about me, and I hated the fact that people hated it, and I just couldn't figure out who I was, and so I'll try to change myself around different people, and I was a confused mess, and so coming to First Steps, oh my goodness, I cried throughout that whole Ruby session and the Sapphire session. I just kept bawling. I just said, God, this has been who you made me, and I couldn't figure out myself and who you wanted me to be. And hearing you, Dani, saying to us and saying that, God wants you to be successful. I have never heard that in my life. Never in my 40 years that somebody wants me to be successful. And I cried my eyes out. God, you mean you want me to be successful? I've been chasing my tails all these years. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to be a good mom, how to be a good wife. I didn't know how to do my business. I didn't know how to do anything. I was just confused, and it was bad. And I just thank God that I went to First Steps to learn about how to do a business, but I came back out a totally different person. It was freeing. It was like a release in my spirit. And I cried, but it was tears of joy, just saying, God, thank you for releasing me and just helping me and just showing me the way. And I've been crying out to you for so long. I needed help. And the help came through you, Dani. So thank you. And when I came back home, it was like the cloud was lifted. It was such a physical thing that you can see it. When my husband, the moment I walked through the doors, it was like, honey, you are a different person. Something changed. And it took me 2 days to even be able to tell him what happened to me. I couldn't even talk. I couldn't tell him what had happened, and he was just like, tell me, but I could see the change. I could see that everything, like it was almost like the depression was lifted off of me, and the cloud and the confusion was lifted off of me. It was so freeing, and right away he was like, oh my goodness, I want to go to the next event. And of course, before I even left Orlando, I went to the table, and by faith I said, God, I have so much freedom in my spirit, and I am believing you for the best right now. From this day forward, I am going to be a different woman. I am believing you, no longer unbelief in my spirit. And I went and I bought the ticket for the next one. And I called my husband. I said, honey, you're coming with me. And he was like, oh, to where? I said, it's going to be San Antonio. And he was like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get up. I said, I am believing God. You are going to get the time off, and we are doing this. And he was like, okay. So when I got home, literally, there was no question about it. He was so excited that I bought the ticket, and he was like, we're going. I want to meet this Dani. I want to meet this lady. I want to hear I want the same change in my life. And I have to tell you, my husband sat there and he was just, wow, he's an emerald, and he took so much notes. He just kept writing everything down, and he came home, studied his notes, and we were both on board with everything, and we're just like, that's it. We're going to pay off debt. We are going to become parents who are going to groom our children for success, and we're going to raise our children with purpose, with just renewed eyes. We had new vision. I mean, it was just an instant and quick change that God made. And I'm still shocked till today. Like, it was just 9 months ago. I was in total darkness, and everything just lifted out. And we were just like, that's it. I mean, we started communicating with each other much better. We honored each other. Our marriage is so much more exciting. I can say I look forward to seeing my husband now. I mean, his time, we both into Time Secret. He learned how to manage his time well, that now he's home for dinner almost every single
praise God.
That has never happened for years. He's a physician, so I know his schedule is so busy, but this man would not come home to eat dinner. We were just totally strangers to each other. Wow. And now he comes home. He looks forward to being home with his kids. He helps me out. He takes food to work now. I mean, we are on a budget. Like, when we go grocery shopping now, I try to stay within $100 to $130. That's safe minimum. I plan the meals. Wow. I mean, I'm just so diligent at just making sure that we're not spending unnecessary money.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
We just changed all that habit. That was
just. Oh my gosh, girl. I am in tears. I am blown away. I can hear the freedom. It's as though you came out of darkness. You came out of a prison that you didn't even know necessarily you were in. When we continue, you're going to hear the shocking financial turnaround that has happened in this couple's life. Stay with us. This is going to shock you.
Lara's breakthrough is exciting, but there's more to this story. Stay tuned to The Dani Johnson Show.
I just heard this amazing story. One of our clients had written us telling us that they had used job domination and unlimited success and has absolutely exploded their career. He said, Dani, I don't know where I'd be today without job domination and unlimited success. Listen, do you want more recognition from your coworkers? Do you want to be recommended to people all over the world? Do you want to be somebody that is highly sought after? Listen, if you're in a dead-end place where this gentleman found himself, but then learned new strategies and changed everything in his work life, and obviously this has resulted in higher bonuses and pay raises, you're next. 888-757-8880. Get your copy of Job Domination right now. 888-757-8880. Again, 888-757-8880. Job Domination. That's what you need. It's time for you to dominate the job market and break through the rut that you're in.
So 4 years ago in July, we showed up to our first Dani Johnson event, our first Steps to Success. And we were completely desperate in every area of our life. At the time, I thought it was just because of our finances, but then I figured out pretty quickly that it was because of my lack of people skills that we were where we were. We sat in the front row. We got fast track, and we sat in the front row right in the center next to some amazing people because we were so hungry, so desperate, so broken, and I pretty much cried through the entire event, honestly. And when she did the War on Debt, which she will show you, this afternoon, I went back immediately and got it. She had just started talking. I heard a couple stories, and I was like, if they can do it, I know we can do it. So we went back and got it and listened to it on the way home in the car, because we drove from Michigan all the way to Missouri. So we listened to it in the car, and when we got home, we immediately got our papers out. We wrote down our plan, and we started applying it. And within 14 months, we paid off over $62,000 worth of debt. We never in a million years thought that was possible. There's so much that has happened in the last 4 years, and I'm the person that wants the results immediately. I don't like the process of getting there. I want to just get there. But I've learned to appreciate the process over the last 4 years, and just seeing the transformation that has happened in us. Personally, we individually experienced different things, and we experienced a lot of things together. I was paying our bills. I was completely disrespectful to my husband, and didn't really know how bad it actually was. And so that part of our life is still improving. I can say we're a work in progress. It takes time, and we have grown so much.
We showed up. My wife, I didn't know this at the time, but she was battling thoughts of suicide. I had no idea. I thought I was being a perfectly good husband. I did my best to serve her, be a great guy. But what she needed was somebody who would step up and be a leader in our marriage. That's not who I was. And I was totally emasculated, physically emasculated by, there was someone in our church, the pastor, and so we felt the brokenness of a church, having to leave and just hurt, and devastated. One of the biggest breakthroughs started in our marriage is when Lucy started being a wife to me. And I, as a leader, I should step up, right? Take action first, be the initiator. She did it. I was like, oh my gosh, this is a completely different person. And I can tell you, our marriage has just, it's amazing, the difference between her feeling suicidal, me stepping down as a leader, to me taking the initiative and just looking her in the eyes and saying, honey, thank you for allowing me to be your leader. And she just melts every time. This is awesome. So. So let me just tell you this, guys. If you're struggling, or you're broke, you're wondering what your next step is, hey, just take action. Follow those notes that you just took. Take action and do it, because your story is going to be here, and people are going to be inspired by your story. So are y'all ready to take notes? All right, let's do this. Help me welcome Miss Dani Johnson, America's favorite millionaire, to the stage.
Helping you become all you were meant to be. And now, back to the Dani Johnson Show.
I don't know what you have going on in your life right now. You might be feeling like everything is dead, that you are looking at your life and wondering, how did I get here? Feeling lost, feeling confused, feeling like there's just darkness all around you. And on the outside, maybe things look okay and normal, but on the inside, you're crying out saying something has to change. That's exactly where Lara found herself just 9 months ago. Just 9 months ago on Facebook, she heard about First Steps to Success. She heard about the website, DaniJohnson.com, and she took action. She had no idea what was in store for her, and she just finished sharing the depths of some of the pain, as well as the complete release out of a prison that she just walked through. And now, Lara, let's talk about the financial thing. I mean, how incredible to have your husband, who was a workaholic, that after him and you attending First Step Success, and you guys haven't missed a single event this whole season, this whole year, and you've brought your kids with you. Your 3 children have been attending the events with you. You truly are grooming the next generation for success. You're taking it so serious, and that just blows my mind. Now, on the financial side of things, you guys were like ignoring your debt. You come out of First Steps, the 2 of you guys start attacking that. You start budgeting. You use all the tips that we talk about in War on Debt with the groceries, the weekly budgeting of the groceries, how much it should be per person, per week, for food. You're doing it all. And I'm so proud of you and the diligence that you're applying. God is rewarding those diligent hands. But you guys have also paid off a crazy amount of debt. How much debt have you paid off? It's been 8 months, because Orlando mid to September mid. 9 months. So exactly 9 months. What is the amount of debt that you guys have paid off?
We have paid well over $160,000. Since February. We started February. When we came back after Orlando, we started paying it off, yes.
So that's in 8 months. And in 8 months, you have paid off $160,000 worth of debt. Your husband has cut his hours back from his life, from his work life. He now is engaged as a father from the 2 of you guys attending First Steps to Success. You both are raising your children together. This is shocking. And you no longer hating yourself and hating other people. Yes. But the love and the passion that flows out of you, when we just took that last break, the team just said we're all in tears. the passion and the Spirit of God that is on you is so beautiful. It literally is. It's like you've had the shackles broken off of you, and now you see the light of day. And I feel like there's something in you that's saying, come with me. Come with me. You don't have to live that way. So you guys are also, not only have you had a new vision for your life, I mean, it sounds like neither one of you knew how to be married. You didn't know how to be parents. And that's all of us. If all of us actually sat there and admitted it, like, I don't know what the heck I'm doing raising kids. I don't know what I'm doing with my marriage. I don't know. You know, we go to college for our work career, which I didn't, but many people do. And maybe we know how to do that job. But where's the college for marriage? Where's the college for parenting? Where's the university education in the most important areas of our lives? Where's the university education for our finances, right? So like your husband studied to be a doctor, he can do that job well, but had no training as to become a great husband, no training to become anything but a doctor. And the same for you. Like, it is so crazy to me how many people think that they don't need to learn how to do those jobs well, and that they expect to just marry the right person and everything's going to go great, and they expect to give birth and hope the kids turn out okay. What do you say to that person right now that is listening, that's in the same place? I want you to think of it right now. Think of that one person that is in the same exact place you were just 9 months ago, with $160,000 more of debt than you have today, totally feeling dark, defeated, depressed, hateful, resentful, bitter. What do you say to that person about attending this next first steps to success right now?
I'll say, if you need help and you are desperate enough, there is help, because that's what I thought. I didn't think there was help, but I realized that yes, there is help. And yes, go into DaniJohnson.com and register for the next event, because you will hear and you will get the skills that's needed to raise your kids, to have a better marriage, to know how to communicate, to know how to pay off your debt, to know how to communicate with other people, which was a big problem that I also had, like just communicating with people. You will learn all those skills at First Step to Success, and you will learn to be around other people who have the same vision, which is so important. When you're around other people and see other people doing the same thing that you've always dreamt of, you've always wanted in your life, but you just couldn't get it. So there is no excuse, really, because sometimes we say, oh, I guess this is it. I don't know what else to do. This is just how it is going to be. No, it doesn't have to be like that. You can have a good marriage. You can have a successful marriage. You can have a good business. You can have raise your children for success and groom them. You can have all those things, because you can get the tools from the right people. So I would say, go to Dani Johnson. Do not waste any time, and do it now, today.
So when before you came to First Steps, did you just think that because of the childhood that you had of poverty, that this, and whatever it was that your mom and your dad's life was, were you one of those people that thought, well, this is just how it's supposed to be? Like, life is just supposed to be this way?
Yes, that's exactly what I thought. I didn't think that I would ever make it in life, because those words were spoken to me so many times in my life. My own dad would tell me, you would never make it. I was called stupid all the time. And so I had that stupid thing going on in my head. And I will always say, it was just a miracle that I even went to PT school and I made it. And I was a really good student. I did very well. But because of that mindset, I had such a mindset of just poverty, and I would never make it. I would never, ever succeed in life, and nothing will ever. So it's like, even when I started my business, I will always run back to like what I know. It's like, I'm always so afraid to step out and do something new, because I always think, I don't think it's going to work. They've always told you will never succeed in anything. And so I never want to really try anything new. And so it's so freeing to know that, wow. And I'm the type of person that God made me to live this life, to be adventurous and be excited about things. And I was just doing the opposite of what I wanted. That no wonder I was so almost psychotic. Yes. No wonder, because I just was not living the life that he wanted for me. The other thing I was going to mention, Dani, is that my husband learned so much from Time's Secret. He learned, I mean, we watched it together so many times, and he learned that how to manage his time. And he also learned from Job Domination that when he goes into interviews and things like that. So he always has these meetings with his boss like every 2 weeks, and he always has, it's like a nervous wreck for him. He gets so nervous, I don't know why, but it's been like that for years. But since attending First Step to Success, he's had the tools to know how to communicate and how to talk. And so he goes now and talks to his boss, and he's like his best friend. His boss loves him now, to the point where recently there's something that he's been wanting in his practice that they would not give him, and they wouldn't even give it to anybody, but he was able to request it, and the way he presented the case, he got it. That has really helped him to be more productive, to the point where he got a raise.
Wow. I mean, this is shocking. There's so many layers of incredible blessing that has come upon your guys' family life. This is Dani Johnson. We'll continue with more right after this.
Don't go away. The next segment might just change your life. This is the Dani Johnson Show.
Hi, this is Dani Johnson. Let me ask you something. Do you dream about being more confident, more beautiful, more powerful? Are you that girl who never learned to wear makeup and now you're lost in a sea of YouTube videos? That busy mom who can't get enough sleep and just wants to feel pretty again? Or maybe you're that professional who wants a little more respect in the office. From the boardroom to the bedroom, celebrity makeup artist Xtina Harmsworth from XMH Beauty will help you. Xtina has a track record of making beauty easy on any budget. Her live class is simple, step-by-step professional beauty techniques, and insider secrets will set you apart from the crowd. So don't sit on your dream another minute. Learn from the best. Get your exclusive free gift from Xtina today at xmhbeauty.com/Dani. That's xmhbeauty.com/DANI. The whole story of how I went from homeless to millions is right here in this book, First Steps to Wealth. I'd love to give you a free copy of this book. Just dial 888-757-8880. You can get your free copy of this book. It's like a real book, my friend. You can get an ebook copy for free right now, or if you'd like to pay the shipping to get this $15 book to your house, I'd be happy to send it to you. 888-757-8880. Get your copy of First Steps to Wealth today and begin on a brand new path of some great success. Imagine living in a decrepit, unsafe hovel made of waste material on top of old mining tunnels that could explode and sink your home at any moment. Imagine no water to drink, no safe place to raise your children, no food for your starving baby. Imagine that your kids can't learn to read because they have to work to support the family instead of going to school. Could you imagine living in that kind of fear and hopelessness? This is exactly what families are dealing with in the poverty-stricken village of Santa Pancha, Nicaragua. These families can barely meet their basic food, water, and housing needs. We are transforming that village. Be a part of this miracle. I want you to go to the website now and learn how you can help. Go to kingsransom.org and click on Santa Pancha. There you can join with other warriors against poverty and help bring a miraculous transformation to Santa Pancha. That's kingsransom.org, kingsransom.org. Hi, I'm Dani Johnson. The most common question I get usually are from people who are trying to juggle their life. They've got kids who are involved in all kinds of activities. They've got business or their job, finances, trying to get out of debt, plus all their church activities and all the volunteer activities, and they're pulling their hair out going, how do I juggle this all? Man, I once lived just like that until I learned Time Secrets. Time Secrets showed me how to be able to cut my hours from 100 hours a week that I was working down to 20 hours a week and tripled my income as a direct result with what I learned. Time Secrets also showed me how to get my priorities in order, which healed up my marriage. And I became a mother that I was proud of versus becoming the mother I didn't want to be. And so if you feel like your world is running around in all kinds of different circles, you can fix that. Call 888-757-8880. Again, 888-757-8880 for Time Secrets.
What multi-millionaire do you know that volunteers their time to help ordinary people like you and me? There's only one. This is the Dani Johnson Show.
All I can say is wow. I know you were blessed. I know you were inspired by Lara as well as by Shade. What an incredible, absolutely amazing life that they are living today, and the things that they've done, the steps that they've taken, the action. What action are you going to take today? Friend, something else that Laura told me on the break is that her daughter, she was so inspired by the project that we're working on. I know you know about the project, right? We're building 1,000 homes for the extreme poor in Nicaragua. Why? Because it's extremely poor there. There's not extreme poverty like there is in that place. And we do tons of stuff here in the U.S. as well as abroad. And why do we go abroad? Because we can. That's why. But we do a ton right here in the U.S. But when there is such a suffering like this kind of suffering, where people are dying, their children are starving, and their houses are crumbling and being swallowed up into the earth and killing women, pregnant women even, and children, that's when you've got to act and do something. So check it out. Her daughter was so inspired about hearing about the project in Nicaragua with 1,000 homes that are being built. She came out of First Steps to Success and she wrote a book, has now published the book, and is giving 60% of the profits straight to the Nicaragua project. How incredible. This is a young girl who has written a book and is selling the book and making money so that she can help build a home for someone else. This is not a girl who has, a young girl who has written a book to become an author to make money so she can buy some expensive clothes from Abercrombie and Fitch. No, this kid has written this and done this work and is promoting her own work and has become a writer, now an author actually. Hello. That is vision. That is purpose. Look what happens when a family comes together and learns new skills and develops and cultivates those skills and also cultivates them in their own children. Look at what happens now to the next generation. You don't have to stay stuck. Your life does not have to stay the same. You can join us on this journey and this adventure of success your way. I'm talking about the real definition of success. It being in your marriage, in your finances, in your spiritual life, in your emotions, and in your mind. It not being about stuff, but it being about the quality of life that you are living. And quality is not determined by the price tag of your car, clothes, or house. The quality of life is the quality of peace and contentment that you have, and the quality of relationships that you have with those who are closest to you that you might hate, that I promise you're going to fall in love with. You hang out with us, you're going to define success for you. You're going to figure out what matters to you. You're going to find a vision for your life, for every area of your life, your health, your mind, your future, your finances, your career, your marriage, and your parenting. You're going to find a vision that was designed exactly for you, custom made for you, with your personality and who you are, and with your past, and how your past will actually help you get to the place that you're supposed to go. And you're also going to join us on this adventure with kingsransom.org. Yeah, come on, let's do this together. We're going on a trip not too far away from now. All of us, there's going to be hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of us going down to Nicaragua to make a difference in these people's lives with the kids and the parents. We're going to have the chance to see the homes in which you have helped to build. You want to find out more about that? Go to kingsransom.org. Again, that's kingsransom.org. And do what you can. You'll see it right there. It says 1,000 homes. Press give now. I don't care if it's $1. Hey, if all of us on this show gave $1, I'm sure a house would be built easily. It's only $5,200 to build a house. So there's at least 5,200 people watching the show. And if all we did was go to King's Ransom right now and gave $1, hello, we would have a house built. Bam, just like that, and a family's life changed, all with $1. So instead of spending $1 on what? I don't even know. Instead of going to the dollar store, put the buck at kingsransom.org. All right, God bless you. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
This has been the Dani Johnson Show. If this episode was an encouragement to you, go to DaniJohnson.com and share it with your friends now. You never know who else needs to hear it.
Hi, welcome to the Dani Johnson YouTube channel. We're super excited to have you here. And every single week, we're going to make sure that you get awesome videos for your business, career, making more money, saving money, annihilating your debt, as well as helping you to handle those really tough problems that you have with people at home as well as at work, and taking those really good relationships you already have and causing them to flourish and grow. All you have to do is click that subscribe button right down here. Click that and you'll be subscribed to an amazing community of people, as well as some great videos that will help to improve your life. Thanks so much for being here. Subscribe now would be good. Just click it. I know you can see it. It's somewhere down here. Okay, talk to you later. Bye.